We are finally seeing Grand Cathay, which never had an army book before, so Games Workshop and Creative Assembly worked together to create a brand new army just for us. I couldn't be happier that we see girls, girls, girls. What we've seen so far is a formidable female legendary lord who can turn into a dragon and just destroy many things in her way. We see female gun units, casters, and maybe a melee unit there as well as the girls piloting the flyers. We expected guns, we expected flyers, and good thing they have them because it looks like Cathay is going up against Tzeentch. Units-wise, the melee infantry is described as wielding spears and halberds to protect the ranged troops. They're also suggesting that Grand Cathay has legions to call upon when needed, with the less trained forming a fragile but effective front line. This reminds me a lot of Bretonnia. We're going to have two different tiers of units. Some are probably going to be easily recruited with basically no upkeep, and they can apparently be boosted when there's proper harmony. Given the melee infantry is bound to be really poor in battle, it seems that we'll have to use the ranged units and the magic units to do most of the damage, but they will probably come at a cost, kind of like Bretonnia. But there seems to be an economic part of the campaign with the Ivory Road that could probably help us either reduce upkeep or increase our income. In terms of play, Cathay is being described as slow-moving and easy to flank. Does that remind you of anybody else? I think the big difference between Cathay and the Dawi here is going to be the magic, which seems to come in forms of yin and yang. So we'll see two very opposing forces, maybe one more defensive and one more offensive, and then you'll have to decide how you want to play. We also see these flying machines that remind me a little bit of gyrocopters. Hopefully we see some more power there. Another thing Grand Cathay shares with the dwarfs is being described as defensively focused armies and having tides of darkness crash against their great bastion. So I'm expecting a huge focus on walls in Cathay, just like the dwarfs. The Grand Bastion is described as an invincible walled fortress, but we all know in this game nothing's invincible. So you're going to have to defend this over and over and over again. And hopefully it is where you can stop forces from entering the rest of your land, since it seems like you're going to be very dependent on having a strong income through this Ivory Road type of mechanic. Based on what we're seeing here, I'm seeing a lot of shared features between Bretonnia and the dwarfs. So this is really reminiscent of the old world, tying together Game 1 and Game 3 right off the bat. Do you see the resemblance between Cathay and the dwarfs? Or Cathay and Bretonnia? How do you think this is going to interplay so that this faction can stand up against some of the other factions and all their strong forces? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for stopping by.